I fixed my problem. Okay, y'all, what's good? The name is Jasmine Elise. I am super happy to be here. Today is January 19th, and I just wanted to talk about, actually I'm recording two videos today. The first video is gonna be briefly about makeup artistry, where I'm at, where I want to go this year, and where I've been last year and how I've changed really in the last 9 to 10 months since I decided to go for it basically and grow with it. And then the second video is going to be about natural hair. And natural hair and how it relates to glamour, in my opinion. But firstly, I want to talk about makeup artistry. So I moved out of my parents' house into an apartment with some friends back in March of 2021. So I was working a full-time job, and then I was like, you know what? I really had a great community of creative artists out there that I had built when I studied up in northern Florida. So I said, because I have my community there, I'm gonna practice makeup artistry and grow with that and get better, because I love watching makeup videos and I'm a makeup junkie, really. So that's why I wanted to cultivate makeup artistry. So when I moved there, after I settled in and everything, I committed to myself to practice once a month. I mean, not once a month, once a week on a model. So every week I would practice once a week on a model to see my skill level and how I can grow, what I can get better at. And by the way, this video is going to be about my makeup artistry in the last year, and where I want to go, but also like in my experience, I want to share some valuable tools and practices that I've learned that have helped me be where I am, and what I think will help me get to where I want to go. And so I really want you as a makeup artist, honestly, whether you're a chef, whether you are a model, like whether you're a photographer, take something from this and apply it to your skill set. That's what I think is cool. It's like being able to take things from people that aren't even in your sector, in your specific sector. So nevertheless, I was like, you know, I'm gonna practice. So I would hit up so many friends. I'm in a few organizations at school. So I would message people. If people didn't respond, whatever, I literally never cared. Actually, the very first person, the first thing that I did was post on my Instagram story around, I would say it was April or so. Yeah, April. And I said, someone let me practice makeup on them. And at this point, I had no makeup on my page that I had done. I had practiced on a few family and friends, but I hadn't consistently started practicing yet. And someone who is now a really great friend of mine, like a lovely, lovely friend of mine, and my first repeat client, responded. And we barely knew each other. Like, we worked together for something for school, and that was it. And I went over her house, practiced on her for like 2.5 hours, and I loved the outcome. It came out really good, really natural. And from that point on, she became one of my like consistent uses, but also like my consistent client, because she does a lot of photo shoots and she loves the natural effect of makeup that I have, because you know, some people do really glam makeup. So she became my first client, and that's the first tip I have for you, is to keep practicing on models. Even from a book I read recently about makeup artistry, I can't recall the name, but it was some woman in Europe. If you look it up on Audible, it'll come up, all her like keys to success, and she goes over every element of makeup artistry in her experience. And practicing like is something that people still do. Like all the makeup artists you watch on YouTube, they hire a model to practice a look, to practice a new technique. So you're just beginning, what is practicing one day a week? Guys, even when I was like tired, my job was exhausting. And you have to, learn your limits. Like sometimes you're burnt out, but sometimes like if you made a commitment to practice with someone at 4 o'clock on Friday after you get off, keep that commitment. There's been plenty of times when I'm just like tired and don't feel like doing makeup, but I'm like, I committed to this, let me do it and see where I grow into. So, even the people at this level, Painted by Spencer, all of his YouTube videos are on models. And at some point, I felt like I want to like pay my models or give them a discount on their services because they sacrificed their time. So that's something you can figure out on your own. But I would say half of the models that I've used have paid me because they like the work. And guys, like, I think my work, we always cut ourselves short, but I would think of my work as like down here compared to where the makeup artistry I want. And mind you, people love it. People think it's great. People, it just goes to show that you know more than someone else. And like you have your special skill set that people value. Because my makeup comes out so natural, I thought like it wasn't what people would want, but it actually turned out to be a strength of mine. But nevertheless, the first thing I would say is practice on models and make a routine. Don't just do it once a month. Like if you're just starting, do it once a week. Because eventually your goal is to do it every day or 4 days out of the week. So do it once a week, get better, see where you're at, see your strengths and your weaknesses. The second thing I did last year was invest in a workshop. Actually, that was very exciting. I did my first workshop. The woman who I asked, actually, like I really wanted to shadow her or something, but she came up with a deal for me to basically have her in my back pocket, and she's always there for me to ask questions. She was just somebody that I found on Instagram, and a mutual friend of ours had worked on a creative project with her, and I just DM'd her like saying, can I shadow you or something for when you do a wedding or something like that, just so I could see how you work. And she was like, well, shadowing won't really do anything, but guys, people are so willing to give. That's what I've learned this year, by reaching out to people and asking for help. People that I do not know, like I did not know this lady from a can of paint, but people are really, really willing to help if you just ask for like one small thing. Oftentimes, and more often than not, it seems like they just give you a mile and want to share knowledge and love with you. And if they don't, then go to the next person and get help, because it's good to ask people up here and people that you look up to for help. So that was the second thing I did. It was during the summer. I would say it was around July that I did a little payment plan. I think it was like $250, and which honestly, when I've looked at other workshops, that's not much at all. But that is something I suggest that you do, because a lot of makeup artists, as I'm researching now another workshop to do, what they'll do is they'll look at your marketing, they'll look at what platforms you're on, they'll come up with a plan for you to elevate, and look at your goals and look at you holistically, as well as, okay, what do you do when you pick up the brush? And they'll guide you through that. So that's something I did last year that I'm going to do again this year. And I notice a lot of makeup artists that are even up here, they still take workshops. They still learn from each other, from the people that they hire, because there's so much makeup to learn. And so that's what I did last year. I think those are the two like most paramount things that I did last year. I worked with models and then just asked my Instagram followers, like, who can I practice makeup on? And I think that people are open to it because you see I do good makeup on myself, so you're open to like being a model. Even though that's not always the case. That if you do it on yourself good, you're gonna do it on others. That's like a misconception. So people are open to help. So that's the first piece of advice that I want you to do. If you want to be a makeup artist this year, if you want to grow in your artistry, consistently do it and want it bad. And I think once a week, twice a week is fair enough, because eventually you want to be booked. So that's basically nothing. And then the other thing is investing into a workshop, a few $100s. I would say the next one I'm gonna do is gonna be, I'm torn between a $500 one and a $4,000 one, but it depends on what happens this week actually. So I'm super excited for this week. The $4,000 one is of course a big investment, but like it pays off. It will definitely pay off, but I'm excited. And that one, of course, I would do. Well, maybe I'd get $4,000. So we'll see. But I'm super excited, and that completely depends on what happens this week. In the name of Jesus, this position I applied for works out. So yeah, those are 2 things I did last year that I want to take into this year: modeling and a workshop. And I think that's it. I did a workshop with a makeup artist. The next thing that I did, we are now in January, so I'll take it to December. So December is when I finally was researching, okay, I know personally at that time I had felt like I wasn't really a fan of Instagram. You know, I don't like the whole facade thing and the people from high school thing and my family seeing me and all that stuff. That did not resonate with me at all. And I just had social media, just like everything has its, let me make sure I'm still recording. Okay, bet. Okay, social media, like everything, has its okay, we're good. Has its positive and negative sides, and I just have these negative feelings about showing myself and what if, I stopped doing makeup artistry, or what if it sucks? And there's literally people that hit me up and they love my work. And like I said, I feel like my work, it's not down here, but I be feeling like it's down here and I want to be right here. But I am proud of where I've come, and to get here, I have to make that monetary investment with some coaches. I have to make that time investment because YouTube videos, tutorials only take me so far. But nevertheless, in December, I was like, oh, okay, I wasn't consistent with Instagram to the point where I could use it to scale myself. I had only had my Instagram set up and I had the book now button set up with Square. So I decided, I realized that when I started my makeup brand, which is separate from my makeup artistry, because they started at different times, but I'm gonna find a way to bring them together in a way. Well, but still make them a little bit separate. But I remembered when I started my makeup artistry brand, or my cosmetic line brand, I was like, I used Fiverr. I used Fiverr to find somebody to help me build my website. I had to ask around for website building. So I asked a friend for help. People recommended me to Fiverr, but people also recommended me to somebody that they used. So I was like, oh shoot, I should see how I could be somebody on Fiverr that provides my services. And then by doing that, I realized that Fiverr is more for technical work, for people that do, virtual assisting, photo editing, digital work. But then I remembered back in 2018, 2019, I started sewing. So because I couldn't really list my makeup artistry services on Fiverr, because that platform is for digital work only, I feel, I realized and I remembered I could go on Thumbtack. And Thumbtack has been amazing for me. And they are the sponsor of this video. Just kidding. But Thumbtack has been amazing for me in the last month. So basically, if you don't know what either apps are, Fiverr basically is something, it's an app, it's a website, it's a software where if I need a logo done, if I need my website edited, if I'm getting an error 404 page on my website, then I can look on Fiverr for somebody that's a Shopify expert, and they will fix my problem for, they have a range of budgets that they tend to, but people can do little fixing for $10, $15. But people will build websites for $100 or for $1,000. So that's basically what Fiverr is. It's like a hosting website. Thumbtack is essentially the same thing, but for, I think even you could find a web designer on there, but definitely for physical labor. If I need somebody to fix the towel rack, there's a dent in the towel rack over there. If I need somebody to fix that, I can find a handyman. I actually went to a client once and she told me that she's telling me how she loves Thumbtack, and she hired a chiropractor for her office on Thumbtack, and he like adjusted everybody in her office. So Thumbtack is basically an app where if people need a service done, you know, I'm the Thumbtack pro and they're the Thumbtack like customer, and they can find whatever they need. So Thumbtack has helped me a lot. That is basically the app that has generated me leads outside of Instagram. You pay like $7 whenever somebody reaches out to you, but if something bad happens, you can always get a refund. And yeah, I love it. So basically last month, that's a platform I decided to go on to build my business, and then it was just like, let's see what happens, because like I said, I found sewing lessons on it. So I was like, okay, as a makeup artist, let's see. And I hadn't really heard of anybody using it. You know, most people use Style Seat, but that was amazing for me. So last month I had 7 clients, I think 7 to 10 in the month of December. And I was like, holy cow, like, whoa, I haven't had that before. When I was practicing from March to November, like I was just practicing, and it was by word of mouth really that somebody would want me to do their makeup, and, you know, posting on Instagram very inconsistently, probably once a week max, and then I would fall off for 2 weeks, but still enough. And then, so I was like, oh shoot, okay, Thumbtack works. I can reach out to people and they can find me. And when I get good ratings, you know, people from the past, I can let them add reviews. People that I've done from the past, I could send them the link to add their reviews. And I add my pictures on there, and I'll do a whole different video on that. But basically in my first month, Thumbtack made me about $800 just off of my pricing, but I could have probably made $1,000. And if I really was charging like my value, and if my skill level was where I wanted to be, I probably could have made $3,000, honestly, because like my work would be worth $3,000. But right now I value, or in that month I was figuring out my pricing. I would probably value it at like $1,000 worth of work that I did last month. And so that was pretty awesome. And that would be my suggestion for you to take into next year, is get on different platforms outside of Instagram, outside of Facebook, outside of Twitter. Because I posted my work on Twitter, but Twitter is definitely not something I'm interested in. It's a little tricky for me. But Instagram is something I can change my relationship with, and getting on platforms where the people that I want are looking. So Thumbtack was amazing. Then I started, and I've just had amazing clients. It's just been a great experience. So that's something I'm taking into this year. And I was worried because the holidays are over. So I was like, what is season gonna look like? You know, this is my first year doing this. So what does it look like? But I'm still getting inquiries, which is good. I have a budget at $25, and I'll probably increase it so that way I could get more people, because I'm ready to get more inquiries now. Excuse me. So that is something that I want to take into this year. I don't want to make this video too long because I'm posting it raw. So you can skip around, but nevertheless, Thumbtack is really good. Another platform that I want to get on, or that I am on, is Style Seat. But it hasn't done anything for me for some reason, and I don't really know why. But, you know, of course, like, you gotta take your attention, you gotta focus on something and build it. So eventually, soon, I'll focus on Style Seat and see where that goes. But it's not really working for me right now. But that's where I'm at right now. So where I was last year was practicing on models and getting a workshop. And where I'm at this year, I'm on a different platform called Thumbtack, and I'm looking at my key performance indicators, like what worked for me last year. So I'm gonna still practice on models, but I just need those sessions a little, maybe I can do them once a month. But what I want to do now that's new too is a workshop. I actually want to host a workshop / social. So I'm partnering with another makeup artist who I love. She's actually just well known in my community, and it's gonna be a Valentine's glam day / social. And I'm really excited just to get people together and to just get my name there too. And because it's being done in February, that's actually helping me prepare for graduation season, because the city that I'm doing it in, I'll have, there's gonna be not recent graduates, but upcoming graduates who will need their makeup done. And I feel like that alone is a season, and that's gonna come quick this quarter. And then I also want to do something with the community as well. Like, I want to do giveaway makeovers to like high schoolers for prom. So I want to partner with a friend of mine for that. And another theme here that you see is partnership. So partnership is very important because it helps you build community. And there's just so much growth in community and like in knowing people. And now that's why the saying your network is your net worth is like making sense to me. Asking for help where you need it is very important. Have a friend come with you if you can to help you like set up your lighting. But yeah, that's where I'm at this year and this quarter's preparing for a workshop / social, preparing to invest in a workshop or one-on-one workshop and like a marketing plan. Asking for help, asking for one piece of advice from this makeup artist in Texas has helped me tremendously. I was able to get a one-on-one with her. She was very, very kind. We did it virtually, and she just, I appreciate it greatly. And I'm going to continue to use Thumbtack. I'm going to continue to practice on models. But, and then what else? I think that's it. Those are my 5 plans for like this quarter, to do a social and all that stuff. Look at what worked last year and what didn't work last year and see where I could put my focus on. Like, am I gonna give Style Seat my focus? Not really, because it's not really working for me. But I'm gonna still practice with it to play around and see how can I get it to work for me. Another thing, the last thing I'll say that worked for me is I got a 4-figure deal. It ended up not working through because of like, basically on my part, they went with a different makeup artist because, well, I asked why they went with a different makeup artist. And it's basically because I don't have like a official website. So like when the lady that inquired about it on behalf of her corporate team, they probably asked for a website and I just didn't really have one. I gave them a link to my Pocket Suite app where I like gave them an invoice and stuff, but I need an online portfolio, which takes me back to my brand, which I'm keeping separate. I'm gonna add like official website portfolio extension of my brand. But nevertheless, that happened through Yelp. You want to get on Yelp. And the reason why I say you want to get on Yelp is because I had a conversation with a chef. His name is The Session here on YouTube. And he told me that he was a top rated chef in the whole state of California, or like in Southern California, I'm not sure. But nevertheless, California is big. And so I was like, okay, let me get on Yelp, because he told me that what happens is like rich people will have their assistants look for these services online. And nevertheless, this woman in New York reached out to me. Yelp, again, my account on Yelp isn't super developed, but she reached out to me and I asked her like what made her choose me when we were talking, and I was just making sure she's legit. And she was hiring me on behalf of her company. A group of 8 of them wanted me to do their makeup in Miami for like a video shoot, and they wanted me there for touch-ups. So my quote price ended up being $1.3K. And I was like, holy crap, I can make that in a day? And I told that to one of my business friends, and she was like, well, after the deal ended up not falling through when I followed up with her, my business friend was like, okay, ask her like why did they go through with someone else? And now I'm gonna make those adjustments to my website so that way I can get more offers like that. So I'm really excited for this year. This year is definitely a year of growth. Where I see myself as a makeup artist is, where do I see myself? Oh my gosh, I don't even know where I see myself. That's really bad. But but I definitely see myself improving. I see myself investing in my craft, getting better, using it to provide for myself. I honestly see myself in Europe for some reason this year, like the latter half. So taking my artistry services over to Europe, which is scary to say, honestly. But investing in a class, just getting better so that way it can support my livelihood. And when it supports my livelihood, I'll be investing in music lessons to live out one of my dreams, which is to sing at weddings. Guys, this story kind of went a little haywire and it's not really connecting. But makeup artistry is one of those skill sets that I have that I can see it like taking me very, very far and just providing me the skills for other aspects of my life that I want to cultivate. Because within makeup artistry, you have like persistence. You have basically the saying comes into fruition. Like it's not about being a millionaire. It's about who you have to become to be a millionaire. And so I feel like makeup artistry encompasses that business element and that fun for me, to where I can do it as a career and then use it to propel me in my parents' insurance business and like how I want to grow that. And then use like once that, I don't know, it's just gonna provide me with skills that are gonna be useful for later chapters in my life. So I might end this video because I'm dying. But nevertheless, what I want to say for this year, what I want you to do this year is look at what worked for you last year. How can you implement that this year? Try workshops. Definitely my theme for this year is community and asking for help. Where I am now, like at the end of this week, I'm so excited for the end of this week because I'm going to get some, I don't want to say life-changing, but it is life-changing for what I'm going to do this year. Like, am I going to partner with this makeup artist who I've reached out to? And if I don't partner with her in the way that I applied for, I'm going to work with her in another capacity this year. And I'm super excited. Like, not only this year, but like this half of the year. I'm super excited for the growth that I can and will experience with her. I'm going to make things work for me this year. Makeup artistry is going to provide for me this year. Like, that's what I want. That's really, really what I want. But aside from that, I know I'm going to pass my insurance test this quarter. That's something else that I just like have to do. I just have to get done. But from a makeup artistry sense, guys, I want you to look at what worked for you last year. How can you implement that times 10 this year? How can you put your feelings to the side? It's like investing in the stock market. They say, don't emotionally invest. For me, I had to put my feelings about Instagram aside and capitalize off of them, basically. That's what I want to do this year, and learn to love Instagram and see the positive sides of it and build a positive relationship with it. If you are just starting, what do I want you to do? I think the first thing I want you to do is practice. Find your favorite YouTube person and look at how they hold the brush, how they hold the sponge, and implement one technique when you practice on your friend, when you practice on your classmate. Just post on your Instagram story, Facebook, in your meetup group. Use meetup.com and see, like, somebody's gonna let you practice. Go to Ulta. Be bold. Like, I've had to be so bold in becoming who I want to be, and I'm so proud of who I am and who I'm becoming, and I'm so excited. And the last thing I want to say, that I'm proud of myself. Okay, it's Win Wednesday, I guess. I came up with that while I was in the bathroom. But I'm so proud of myself. Yesterday, I finally opened a business bank account, guys. It has been since March or April that I opened my online store, and I'm 10 months later, I have my business bank account. I don't know why I didn't have it, but my personal checking account, like my mom opened it, you know, when I was like 17. So I just went to Chase yesterday and I was so nervous and I was like, oh my God, is he gonna need me to have like $1,000 to put in there? Like I didn't know what to expect. But I just opened a business checking account. And you know, when I'm ready for the credit cards, this is helping me be ready. This is me opening, you know, the gates and saying, hello God, like I'm ready for Bell Moon Beauty to like have these pockets, and like for Jasmine, you know, like to get paid from Bell Moon Beauty. Like it's just telling God like, hey, I'm serious about the work I'm doing. It's telling myself like, I'm serious, these two are separate. And I feel like all the money I spend is literally either for my makeup artistry or for my business. And so like having that checking account is just gonna let me see that I spend $2 a month on myself, and then Bell Moon Beauty costs me $2,000 every month. But I love it. I'm so grateful for who I'm becoming and for everybody that I'm meeting along the way. And yeah, open that checking account. If I put $2,000 in it in the next month, oh my gosh, I have the best banker. Like he was so nice, and he's basically giving me like an extra $300. But all I have to do is make $2,000 and put it in that account, and then I get a $300 like credit, and that's pretty fucking cool. So that's everything I want to say. I wish you guys a great year, and even if you're watching this in the middle of the year, please like implement some of these things into your week, into your month, and just see how far it can take you. Just ask for help. Just ask someone for gems. If you are starting makeup artistry, or if you are, if you had already started, like leave your biggest lesson and your biggest sacrifice down below. Like what did you have to sacrifice sleep? Did you have to sacrifice your job? Like what did you have to sacrifice to get to where you are? And if you haven't sacrificed yet, what are you going to sacrifice to get to where you are? Or like, what are you, I don't want to say sacrifice sounds like a bad thing, but just like, what are you looking forward to? You know, build a routine around it. Consider 4 key elements that you can, I can go on forever. But my name is Jasmine Elise. I am a soft glam specialist makeup artist specializing in travel services. And I'm super excited for this week. Oh my God, it literally determines if I'm gonna like pause on my personal makeup artistry or not. But like, I'm excited for either path. To God be the glory. Like I literally feel energized. I am so thankful. I'm so thankful. Yes, comment below, subscribe if you want more videos like this. Comment below, like, what are you going to take into this month? Just what are you going to plan for this month? As a makeup artist, as a chef, whatever you are. And like this video if you found value in it. And I love you so much. And to God be the glory. And follow me on my socials. My Instagram is Elise Did It, ELYSE Did It. My Twitter is Jasmine Elise, but I don't really use it. What else? Damn, everything has a different name. That's something I don't want. But my business is Bell Moon Beauty. This has only my beauty products. BELMOUN Beauty. And I will be on a podcast today at 7 p.m. actually. I'll be sponsoring a video or a podcast by, oh my goodness, what's her name? Her name is Tyla, but her Twitter is, oh my gosh, I can't remember her Twitter. I'll leave it in the comments below. But check the description box for all my links. I am super excited and grateful. And I hope you found something of value. Please like this if this gave you value. Wishing you love. Peace.